connect to every other facility in the building, move files around seamlessly, quickly. The building's also connected to the Technicolor global production network, so we have offices and facilities scattered around the world, Rome, London, Toronto, and we can move data very quickly between those facilities. And oftentimes we'll be doing a color grade in London, director might be there, we might be mixing the picture here, so we can collaborate over the wire, and it's a pretty efficient way to do it. So it was an interesting project to get involved with, and from a number of aspects. One, just building a state-of-the-art post facility today based on digital workflow was a fun project. Certainly a lot has changed in the 30 years or so that I've been involved.
There have been so many advancements in technology. How are you kind of trying to be forward-thinking for what's coming down the pipeline next? I know there's no way to know what's going to be next, but
yeah, my
like
crystal ball is cloudy right now. 4K, high frame rate. Certainly continued interest in 3D from the creative community with new audio formats coming this year, or over the last year I should say. We've seen a lot more 7.1, so where 5.1 was the standard kind of deliverable for many years, now 7.1 is becoming popular. There's multiple 3D audio systems or spatial systems that are starting to enter the marketplace. So we need to be able to keep that in mind so that when we're mixing projects that we can accommodate that, whether it's for a current deliverable or potentially a future deliverable. Somebody might want to come back and do similar to what they did with Titanic. They've turned that into a 3D re-release. Well, very simply, the same thing could happen in sound. There could be something, a new sound format that comes out, a year from now or 5 years from now. So we need to have those elements available to allow somebody in the future to take the base and retain the creative intent and then go to a new format. So that's probably the biggest change I see coming.
For a producer or production unit that's currently working on a project and thinking, I want to make it the best for what it could be in the future, do you have any recommendations of how someone can store their audio?
Well, I'm not going to go that far, but I will say it is certainly a topic of great concern and interest right now, and certainly has been in the digital age. It is a challenge because digital formats change. Certainly there have been negative experiences as it relates to digital archive in the past. Besides format changes and availability or lack of availability of equipment to play back old formats. Hard drives aren't a perfect storage medium, and if you don't check them on a regular basis, it's difficult to ensure that it's truly an archive element. There's been a lot of industry discussion and debate about this. In fact, the Motion Picture Academy has a tech council group that has published 2 books now on what they call the digital dilemma, which is largely related to archiving and the challenges associated with that. So it's certainly from a resource perspective, I would point people in that direction. Interesting reading. It is something that we are all, thinking about and struggling with every day. The proliferation of data is incredible. I mean, it's certainly, we all see it in our own computers and internet consumption and mobile consumption. When you think about even just this segment of the market, just sound, forget a picture and everything else, but there's a ton of data on every project now. And we've kind of gone through this period of time where people were only retaining the final product, and then they get into a bind if they can't go back a couple of steps, if they want to do a different format or add something to it down the road. So now there is certainly more focus on keeping more of the upstream elements. There's all the metadata that's associated with those elements. When was it created? Who created it? On what system? All of those things, which until recently people haven't really given a lot of thought to. It was just like, oh well, yeah, I've got that somewhere in my library, but there was no clear ownership, and it could be something could be a song, it could be a sound effect, could be something, and in this digital era, those are copyrighted things as well. So you kind of need to know that. You can't just go grab stuff and pop it in because it's potentially not free use. So that type of thing is I think top of mind for the industry right now, and it's certainly something that needs to continue to be focused on, and I think we'll see that in the coming years. I think for audio, really the next steps are just going to be further refinement of the process. Should we take a walk though?
Yeah.